Ticking round to 8 o'clock local time then, the pomp and circumstance in the opening ceremony out the way, and the new way of introducing the two sides to the world at this World Cup involves a fairly lengthy handshake process with all of the squad meeting up with the referee and the opposition as well. While that continues, I can tell you we're in Jalisco, in the part of Mexico which is very much part of cartel land. There's no two ways about that. The stadium, as Darren was mentioning to you, built on a grass man-made hill. It looks incredibly impressive, it's fair to say, and as darkness settles in around it, it looks even more impressive, and plenty of Mexico shirts within the crowd as well as the red being worn by those supporting South Korea. And it's the away strip tonight for Czechia, rather fetching shirt. There's some very nice shirts around this World Cup, there's no two ways about it, and Czechia is particularly fetching, it has to be said. South Korea reached the semi-final as co-host back in 2002. They beat Italy and Spain that year on their way to being knocked out by Germany. They progressed from the group stage though on just 3 occasions, the last of those being 4 years ago in Qatar, of course, when they lost to Brazil in the round of 16. That was after they managed to beat Portugal to qualify, and who can forget 2018 as well in Russia, where they dumped Germany out of the competition in the group stages. As for Czechia, as we say, their first World Cup since 2006, they've actually qualified for the last 8 Euros in a row, and they last advanced beyond the group stage in 1990 when they lost to Germany in the quarter-finals. They haven't won a World Cup game since their opener in 2006 when they beat the USA by 3-0. And we are almost ready to get underway. It seems like a fairly lengthy old process that we have to go through. It's a big night as well for Miroslav Kubek, the 74-year-old, who becomes the oldest coach to be in charge at a World Cup. That record's not going to last very long, because Dick Advocat, of course, will be in charge of Curaçao in a few days' time, and he is 78 years of age. So very much a run for the Dad's Army, and in comparison, Hong Myung-bo is in the other dugout, just 57 years of age, and as I mentioned earlier, was in charge back in 2014. Darren, we've already seen today with that win for Mexico, yet not maybe as convincing as others may manage against South Africa, that this game tonight could be quite pivotal in deciding who gets into those top 2 places.
Yeah, it certainly could. Not just the top 2, maybe one of the 8th best losers, as it were. 8 teams from the 12 groups go through as third place, and a win here could certainly see them through. I must say, takes some organisation to get that new way, the big flags, the centre circle banner off the pitch, but they've done it remarkably well. I was just watching all the helpers, the people there, got them off the pitch ready for kick-off. Absolutely outstanding.
Well, looks as though we may actually get away on time. There was about a 5-minute delay for the opening game at the Azteca earlier on. I think that was more due to getting Shakira off the pitch in time to allow that to continue. It was a spectacle of an opening ceremony for sure. A victory for one of the 3 host nations. But these are the other 2 sides in Group A, and an opportunity for one of these 2 to stamp their authority. There are 16 places between them in the latest FIFA World Rankings. It's one of those rare occasions when South Korea are actually one of the highest ranked sides. It's only the 7th time in 31 World Cup matches they've been the higher ranked side. They've only managed to win one of those ties though. They very much seem to prefer life as the underdog, but not this evening. We are off and running. As Ollie mentioned, it's red shirts for the South Koreans, black shorts and red socks, and it's all white from top to toe for Czechia, as we are underway immediately in a throw on this near side for South Korea, and an opportunity down this left-hand side for Zuleni to get it forward for Czechia, but instead they go all the way back to Kovac, who is in goal away to our right-hand side for Czechia. Conceded an own goal in those playoff games against the Republic of Ireland, but he managed to save penalties in the shootout, which allowed Czechia, of course, to qualify after what was quite an enthralling playoff campaign for them. A victory, of course, against Ireland and then also Denmark, both of those in the end on penalties. Thomas Souček of West Ham getting the ball forward down this left hand side. Schultz does well to knock it forward down this near touchline. They are well known for putting crosses into the box, but at the moment looking to play down the left hand side. Czechia, early ball in from Krejci, who's pushed forward from one of those centre back positions. An opportunity now maybe for South Korea to break, but that ball clipped out to the far side, and Vladimir Sofar will pick up possession for Czechia and once again go all the way back to his goalkeeper. But a bright start from the European side.
Yeah, it certainly has been. Czechia, good start. I mean, we're only into the opening 2 minutes of this match, but it's been all Czechia. So much possession of the ball, already looking to play a high press. I was expecting to see South Korea play the high press, but there's not been an opportunity to see that as yet. Two different styles, I think, today. A lot more physical in terms of the Czechia side to the Koreans. And I think it's showing already in the opening minutes the intense heat as well, because you can see the shirts and the players sweating. So I'm really looking forward to this one and how it proceeds.
Only 2 minutes in, and it's Soufal who's popping a ball forward from a rather peculiar position for him. He was on the left side of midfield as he's just tried to clip a ball over the top, but too much on that, and out of play for what will be a goal kick away to our left hand side, which will be taken by Kim Sung-gyu. First World Cup was back in 2014, played every minute of South Korea's campaign in 2022, didn't play any in 2018, but as I mentioned, only made 2 appearances but did keep 2 clean sheets in the qualifying campaign. So back in goal, back at the helm of things for South Korea, who try to mount their first attack, and it's Son who's away on that left hand side by the corner flag. Across goes Soufal, and the ball out for what will be a throw. 3 or 4 yards down that right hand side from the corner flag.
Yeah, you can already see though what Son gives you straight away. As soon as the midfielder picked up the ball, he made the run immediately, and there's a good delivery over the top, maybe a couple of inches offside. It ended up going out for a throw, and if not anyway, but you can already see the intention to get Son in behind and then support from there.
It's Game Day Live on TalkSport. Every game of this World Cup live for you across the TalkSport network. Here we are with Game 2, second game of the day from Mexico. Guadalajara, stadium that holds up to 48,000 people. That's actually exceeded that. 51,000 were in here a few years ago. That was for a boxing match. And a record attendance, it was Canelo Alvarez, who was a Guadalajara native, was fighting that night. It was his first fight in his home country for 12 years. And against the British fighter John Ryder. And the atmosphere already electric in here. You can only imagine what it was like that night with Alvarez fighting. Right-footed ball forward from South Korea. Czechia with some defending to do, and again on this near side it's Yaroslav Zeleny who puts the ball into touch, and it will be a throw in down this right-hand side, which South Korea will have probably 5 or 6 yards outside the edge of the penalty. They scored more set-piece goals in qualifying than any UEFA team. 11 of their 22 in qualifying came from set pieces. They've got some defending to do this time though, as Korea on the attack, and it's picked up on halfway. Forward they'll come this time with Lee Ki-hyuk. Gets the ball across to Hwang In-bum to the right hand side where Lee Han-bum is waiting, and the happiness to keep possession on halfway.
Yeah, I think we're seeing Lee Ki-hyuk and Lee Tae-suk. I think I had them changing positions. I had Lee Ki-hyuk as the wing back, but he's not at the moment. He's playing with one of the 3, but they can adapt and they could switch positions if need be.
He's named 6 centre-backs in his squad, so he's given himself plenty of options for this switch throughout the campaign of qualifying, which, as we mentioned, was incredibly successful. They finished 6 points ahead of Jordan in the second group stage. The second fewest shots faced by anyone throughout that qualifying campaign, but the decision to give them a little bit more flexibility by shifting to a 3 at the back. And at the moment they're under a little bit of pressure. We talked that we might see Czechia doing some pressing. Well, they are at this moment in time. It's Ladislav Krejci though, the centre-half, who's all the way forward pressing at the front, and it's allowed South Korea to break down that left-hand side with a bit of a break here. Son's in the middle as the cross comes over, but it's behind him, and I think the attempted header away by Robin Ranach didn't make much of a contact on it. and it's out of play down this right-hand side for a throw to South Korea.
Yeah, I think it really evened itself out. I mean, Czechia started the best, opening 2 or 3 minutes. South Korea couldn't get a touch of the ball, but since then it's been all South Korea. I mean, that's what you want in one of these matches, and then it will settle down, and then you'll see the extreme heat and work rate from the South Koreans. I think they're probably going to be one of the hardest working teams in terms of they don't need to acclimatise themselves as much because they'll be used to strong heat like it is out here, but it's been a good start by both sides.
We just saw Lee Jae-sung putting a little bit of pressure on Mateusz Kovac in the Czechia goal. Here is Tomáš Souček on halfway, former captain of his country of course, but was stripped of that for his apparent reluctance to thank the fans after a game against Gibraltar. So Krejci now the man who keeps the armband for Czechia, as that goes out of play on halfway on this near side, and Czechia with a throw just inside their own half. It was a good bit of defending that time from Lee Hamburg.
Brave decision for me, Miroslav Kubek, to take the captaincy of Tomáš Souček. I think it was a 6-0 victory that he may have felt that he didn't need to applaud the supporters. Whether Kubek wanted to change new into the job, wanted his own captain, remains to be seen, but I think that's a brave decision.
Dispatched both of his penalties in the shootouts to secure their place at this World Cup. I think second in their qualifying group behind Croatia. Lost twice actually to Croatia, and 2-1 to the Faroe Islands. That was the shocker that allowed the change in management and brought Miroslav Kubek into the position at the age of 74. There's a little shove there by Krejci, and it's going to be a free kick in a dangerous position here. The challenge on Lee Kang-in from Krejci, probably about 35 yards out from goal, just on the right hand side.
Yeah, it was a foul, but what I can say is they look dangerous. Lee Kang-in, Lee Jae-sung and Son up front looking dangerous, interchanging. There was an opportunity, I think, as Lee Jae-sung could have fed Son through the middle, may have been slightly offside, decided against that, but won his team a free kick.
Well, Son's over it, Lee Kang-in as well. It could be a left footer, but it's actually going to be Son right footed. It's played in low towards the edge of the penalty area and easily cleared away that time by Patrick Schick, who is back doing the defending. Here they come again though, down the right hand side. South Korea, a little clip inside from Lee Jae-sung. It's taken a deflection. It'll have to be dealt with and cleared by Lukáš Provod from the left back position on this near side for Czechia, and then Tomáš Souček will head the ball out of play on this near touchline rather hurriedly and allow South Korea a throw midway inside the Czechia half.
Yeah, as we said, it's been a good reaction from South Korea after the promising start from the Czechia players. They're really taking it to them, and I mentioned the high press. We've seen that winning the second balls. I think the Czechia players will be confident in their own size and physicality that they could defend these throw-ins and set plays.
The starting lineup for Czechia has an average age of 28 years and 79 days. It's their third oldest starting 11 in a World Cup. You have to go back to 2006 to find older. Chance here to cross the ball in on this right hand side from Sol Young-woo, but just feints to do it, lets it run out because he knows that his side will have a corner down this right hand side.
Oh, good run from the wing back. Sol Young-woo got forward, won his team a corner kick. You can see the out and out energy from the Korean team.
12 of their last 13 World Cup goals have been scored in the second half, so they're not known for being great starters. In fact, they haven't won an opening match at the last 3 World Cups. You've got to go back to 2010 against Greece, the last time that South Korea were victorious on match day 1. They have the corner down this right hand side, left footed, swung into the near post. Doesn't beat the first defender who comfortably gets the ball out. It's, I think on this time, Alexander Soyka who managed to get it clear. In fact, that's not true. It was Pavel Schulz that got a boot in to get it out. They'll try again to load it back into the penalty area, courtesy of a flick on that left-hand side from Kim Min-jae, but comfortably into the arms of the keeper.
2 poor deliveries, 2 dangerous set plays. A free kick from Son, poor delivery, and then a corner kick from Lee Kang-in, another poor delivery. Both under hit, both hit the front man. Could be opportunities.
We're talking of poor. Kalapek on that far side is just let the ball roll under his feet and out for a throw on that far touchline for South Korea. Their left-hand side, on the attack again, back towards halfway. That swarm of red shirts now breaking down the right-hand side towards Lee Han-bum, and it's clipped forward this time by Lee Kang-in into the edge of the penalty area, and the chance to shoot comes in the end for Son. It's fired over the crossbar by some desperate last defending. The initial opportunity was for Lee Jae-sung. They've got themselves a corner here, but the first bit of danger with the ball over the top.
Oh, it's those three we mentioned as well. Lee Kang-in dropping deep, Lee Jae-sung getting forward, lovely delivery over the top, great control, just went a little bit behind him, found Son, hit the shot, and it was deflected over the top.
Robin Anach managed to do that. The cross comes in and the header is there as well at the edge of the 6-yard area, and it was a really good opportunity for Lee Han-bum, but he couldn't get it on target. He's put it over the top of the crossbar, but the early danger signs here for Czechia as South Korea create the best two chances of the game so far.
Yeah, it was really unlucky. Got up really well, Lee Han-bum. Just overhit his header. Defender probably just done enough at the back post just to make him get underneath that. But as I said, his last 7-8 minutes, all South Korea, some lovely football being played.
Lee Kang-in finds Son just outside the centre circle. Switch to the left-hand side. Good run here by Lee Jae-sung into a decent position, level with the edge of the penalty area on that left-hand side for South Korea. Gets it back inside their own half again, where Paik will team up with Hwang In-bum just to keep possession on that left-hand side. Here's Paik again. He had a decent season with Birmingham City. Did Paik. 46 appearances, 4 goals from that midfield role in the West Midlands. Goes a long way away with the journey to Guadalajara. That's lovely. Chance to get the shot away, which they do, and brings the first save of the game. It's Lee Kang-in's effort, long range shot, and it was saved by Matej Karash, and it needed to be cleared as well. It was from distance, but the ball flew through the air and parried away to the left hand side. Good stop and a good effort on goal.
Lee Kang-in's been the best player on the pitch so far for South Korea. Absolutely brilliant, finding himself in some wonderful positions, and a lovely strike, as you said. And Kovac just done enough to put it out for a corner.
Not sure any of the Czechia defenders expected a shot from Kang-in. He was that far out, but it was a decent effort, and he'll now deliver the corner down this near side, the right hand side for South Korea. It's well worked into the box, and the shot arrives from Son, and he's deflected as well. It was a passing routine into the penalty area. Son's run was tracked all the way though, and the block as he tried to fire it goalwards from about 8 yards was delivered, but they kept possession deep inside their own half.
Brilliant one from the training ground. We said the last 2 deliveries were very poor. This one, as you said, little short corner, got it back. Kang-in found Son, maybe needed to get a little bit more of a cut back as they just lost possession, South Korea.
They have. Lukasz Brogdon down the right hand side, chance to get in towards Sik, who tries to get the shot away. He was again tracked all the way inside the penalty area by Kim Min-jae, and the ball goes out of play for a corner on that far side, and there we see the counter-attacking option that Czechia have in this game.
Yeah, it was a mistake from Lee Ki-hyuk from South Korea, allowed Pavel Schultz to get hold of it. Good run from Patrick Schick, tried to get to the front post, but all good defenders. Kim Min-jae followed him, just deflected it out for a corner.
Well, as we say, they've been pretty decent. 7 goals from corners in qualifying. Vladimir Sofal delivers, and the header was from Yaroslav Zeleny, but he couldn't get it on target, and now maybe there's an option here for South Korea to counter, courtesy of Lee Kang-in. Ball over the top here for Son. They want an offside flag. Son goes down, and Czechia will pick up possession, and the free kick's been given for the foul on Son, and Czechia frustrated because they felt that Amin Mohammed, the Egyptian referee, should have been given an offside, but it was a blatant shove in the back from Pavel Schultz on Son, and another free kick in a dangerous position here for South Korea.
It was a definite free kick, pushed him. It was a little bit of a miscontrol from Son, but he didn't expect the shove from right into his back. But once again, Lee Kang-in, his best player on the pitch, picking it up some wonderful positions again. left-footed, but this time it was his right foot over the top to Son, who won the free kick, and it's Son and Kang In over the ball for this free kick.
Kang In might fancy the delivery this time. There's two in the wall in case he fancies a shot. Son's going to leave it. Kang In will swing it, but he's just swung it beyond everybody. Way too much on it, out of play. What will be a goal kick away to our right-hand side. 16 minutes played. You're listening to World Cup Game Day Live on Talk Sport, brought to you by Burger King Burger Buddies. Total tournament satisfaction delivered by the experts. Order now on the BK app. And it remains South Korea 0, Czechia 0. So mentioned first time in the game, we've actually mentioned our referee, the Egyptian, but on the FIFA list since 2017. That's the 40-year-old Amin Mohammed, and his fellow Egyptian Mohammed Ashur is the man in charge of VAR should that be required. We saw a little VAR action, of course, in the opener that you heard earlier on here on Talk Sport, that 2-0 victory for Mexico over South Africa. 3 red cards in that game. Bearing in mind we only had 4 in the entire tournament in Qatar. Worth noting as well, in case you haven't spotted it, there's 64 games in total in Qatar, but in this new expanded World Cup we've got 72 group games, of course 104 in total, all of which you'll hear across the Talk Sport network. And we're only on game 2 and already an exciting start as Czechia try to build forward from inside the centre circle. Good ball down this left-hand side. Lukáš Provod has it. The offside flag has eventually gone up. I didn't think we were getting any delay flags under this new world order.
Well, he waited a long time. He did wait a while. It was clearly offside. He knew he was offside as well, was Pavel Shorts. He looked across. They just allowed him to play, another 3 or 4 seconds. But he's telling his teammate there, Pavel Shorts, play it earlier. He needs it earlier, otherwise he'll be offside.
Well, of course, it was 1986 that the Mexican wave took hold in the world of sport, and no surprise, the Mexican wave is back again.
There's some atmosphere. It's deafening in the stadium. Absolutely brilliant. Everyone getting involved in the Mexican wave. That's what it's all about, this.
Well, as we mentioned, the stadium is in this bowl that you walk down into. Interestingly, Manchester United and Chivas played one of the first friendlies after the stadium opened in 2010. Of course, Chicharito, Javier Hernandez, former youth player at Chivas, played the first half for his boyhood club. He scored the first goal at the stadium, in fact, before switching kits and playing for Manchester United in the second half of that game. And boy, there was some atmosphere that day. I mentioned the capacity, 48,000 for the World Cup. It's just under 49,000 all told, but it's reduced because of the amount of media, of course, as the foul on Lukáš Provod, who has just swapped sides at the moment with Pavel Schultz. Schultz has gone out to the right. Lukáš Provod has come across to this left-hand side, and he's won his side a free kick there just inside their own half as the Mexican wave
still going.
Darren, don't forget to put your arms up as it comes past. Here's the free kick, just short of halfway then. Left-footed ball going to be swung forward here and delivered high and towards the edge of the penalty area by Alexander Sojka, and it's headed back into the danger zone that time by Provod. Taken down again by Provod, courtesy of Thomas Souček, and instead they're going to go all the way back to the goalkeeper, Matej Kováč, at the edge of his penalty area, away to our right-hand side for Czechia. Just in the possession numbers, heavily in favour of South Korea in the opening 20 minutes of this game, but they have nothing to show for it, despite forcing the only save of the game really from the Czechia goalkeeper. Here's Zeleny down this left-hand side for Czechia, in towards the edge of the penalty area. Here is Thomas Souček lifting a ball across on a decent angle, trying to find Sofala, made the run down the right-hand side. His former colleague, of course, at West Ham, got into a really dangerous position, and he's won his side a corner.
Yeah, it was a fantastic pass, Thomas Souček, as you said, finding his former West Ham teammate, and it was Lee Tae-suk, literally millimetres from his head. It was measured that good, the pass.
Another corner then for Czechia, and it's Sofal with it, and it's cleared towards halfway, and they'll go all the way back to their goalkeeper again. 3 of the 4 goals they scored in those playoff games all came from set pieces and corners as well, so it really is a danger. That's an excellent pass down the right-hand side. The fullback's pushing on here for Czechia, and Vladimir Sofal again will deliver the cross in, but it's blocked out this time. I think he's not going to take this one. I think they're going to try a left-footed in-swinger.
Yeah, they've got to stop giving away sloppy free kicks, sloppy corners, the South Koreans. As you've already mentioned, set-piece kings, Czechia. They're just starting to get a foothold back into this match after such a good, 15 minutes or so from the South Koreans.
Well, they've won their last 2 opening matches at the World Cup, have Czechia. I mean, you have to go back to 2006 and 1990 for them. Corner this time left-footed. Sojka's delivering it in, and it's met by Thomas Souček eventually, but never got a clear header on it and couldn't steer it goalwards, and it's behind and out of play for South Korea's goal kick.
Yeah, as it was whipped in, I think it was the captain, Ladislav Krejci, who just got in the way with Thomas Souček. It didn't even hit him on the head, it kind of hit him on the knee or hip and just went wide, and he knows if he just read that and he anticipated that Krejci was going to miss it, maybe that was an opportunity.
91st appearance for his country tonight for Thomas Souček, has 17 goals to his name. A couple of those came in qualifying. To go back to 2016 when he made his international debut, a real stalwart of the side. And at that point, I think there's a free kick here for South Korea, about 15 yards inside Czechia's half, and it's with 22 and a half minutes on the clock, the perfect moment for the first hydration break of this game. So this will be 3 minutes long, and an opportunity for the players to take on much needed fluids in this sticky and hot environment in Guadalajara.
Yeah, and I think, as you said, they'll be relieved to have this. It's been a very intense opening half of the first half. Started really well, Czechia, opening 2 or 3 minutes. South Korea couldn't have a touch of the ball, then they really took over, 15 minutes or so. Had few opportunities, Son getting in behind, but Lee Kang-in, best player on the pitch at the moment for me. Lee Jae-sung as well, combining, linking up really well up front for South Korea. But as we just said there, Czechia getting a foothold back into this match, gaining some possession, getting some set plays, some corners. They don't want to give too many of those away, because they are really good at set plays. And now this drinks break gives a real opportunity for both managers to maybe tweak a few tactics.
Well, you wonder as well if some of the supporters have an opportunity to taste some of the fare on offer. A birria, which is a spicy beef stew, is one of the delicacies within the stadium, and the tortas, or hogadas, which is a drowned pork sandwich. I'm not too sure what it's drowned in, but it sounds good to me.
Drowned in this music, I think.
Well, actually, music is quite... the Jalisco, where we are, is the birthplace of mariachi music, the traditional Mexican folk sound, violins, trumpets, guitars, all of that kind of stuff. So it's no surprise that's what we're getting treated to right now.
It's just a party, and on our screens in front of us, we can see the highlights being played. That strike from Lee Kang-in. A good save in the end from Kovac in the goal of Czechia. But they're having a full-on party in the stadium. The drinks break looks to be coming to an end.
It is. I mean, it's only at the moment been 2 minutes long, and I understand that it's been investigated in the first game there. The second drinks break was only 2 minutes long, so they're quite adamant there's going to be 3 minutes. But this one looks like it's been just over 2 as well. But everyone's hydrated, including us, and raring to go for the second half of the first half, dare I say the second quarter.
It's a balance, the hydration breaks, really, of how long you give it before you need to get back on the pitch. You don't want to wait too long.
That's a lovely clip ball down this right hand side. There's no offside flag. South Korea in here, and the cross in the end coming in from Sol Young-woo. The flag, I think, did end up going up, to be fair. He looked offside, but they just left it for a moment. There's a shirt problem here as well. For Pavel Schulz, whose shirt has been torn. Let's have a look. Yes, he was offside by about a yard.
Yeah, he was. We thought that, didn't we, initially? It looked to be a perfect timed run, but it was just on his own. Sol Young-woo, good delivery from his defensive partner, Lee Han-bum.
Well, the referee adamant here that there needs to be a change of shirts here from Pavel Schulz. Well, I said those shirts were lovely, but the slightest pull, and it's torn it almost off his back, to be fair. And the referee not happy with him continuing to play like that, so they need another shirt or something, which is going to happen on this near side. I wonder if that means he's going to have to be off for a minute while they change it or not. Whether the referee is going to allow him to immediately come back onto the field of play as we get into these new stipulations, of course, from FIFA. Remember, 10 seconds when you're substituted. If you're not off within 10 seconds, then you still continue to go off, but the player replacing you has to wait a minute before coming on. We've got the 5-second rule on goal kicks and corners and throw-ins as well, if they believe you unduly taking too much time.
I wonder how long that will last, going into the latter stages of the tournament, whether they'll keep schooling those particular rules.
Well, we had an interesting moment as well. Obviously there's advanced VAR powers. We had an interesting moment in the opening game between Mexico and South Africa, where Mexico felt they should have had a corner, but a goal kick had been given, and they were appealing for the corner. Now, in that instance, VAR can't intervene. The only intervention VAR can make is if a corner is given when it should be a goal kick. I'll leave you for the rest of the time and the night to figure out the mentality of that and why that makes sense, because I don't understand. Surely, if it's meant to be a corner, it's meant to be a corner.
This makes no sense whatsoever, does it?
Well, I understand they don't want goals being scored from corners that weren't corners, which is why if a corner's given, it's meant to be a goal kick, they'll flag it, but they won't flag it the other way round. That's an excellent piece of skill. Hwang In-beom there just managed to evade two challenges in the middle of the park and then try and drive South Korea forward, but they were blocked in their tracks midway inside their own half, and there's a foul there. It's a silly foul to give away, really, by Lee Han-beom on this near side, because it gives Czechia a free bit of possession 10 yards inside the South Korean half.
Yeah, silly one, sloppy foul. Been really impressed actually with Hwang In-beom. Seems to be the player in the midfield for South Korea that's ticking them over, getting them playing. Lovely bit of skill.
Technically they look very good, don't they, South Korea? They seem to have some real kind of players with individual ability technically to make a difference. We kind of always knew it would be a little bit more direct from Czechia, as they just pumped another ball into the penalty area, and here goes Soufal again trying to lift the ball round the back to set Lukáš Provod or Pavel Schulz away, and in the end Czechia will keep possession on halfway. They had one of the lowest possessions in the qualifying period. They don't keep the ball too much, they are very direct. As Kalapek gets the ball down that right hand side, Soufal's after it and commits a foul, and it's a free kick for South Korea at the edge of their own penalty area.
Well, it's as we said earlier on in the match, wasn't it? Two different styles of play, one real physical, direct, set play kings in terms of Czechia, and real technical ability of the South Koreans. Not the biggest of sides, all players quite small, not much physicality, but real intense, and the work rate has been tremendous from them so far.
Just 6 of the squad actually play in South Korea, 15 of them ply their trade in Europe, and then the rest spread around the world. They're on the attack here towards the edge of the penalty area. The referee tells Sonny to get up, who wants a free kick 10 yards outside the penalty area, but referee waves that one away, not interested.
I thought it was more of a foul than the other one, to be honest. Looks to have hurt him as well, he's hobbling away.
Zeleny gets forward, ball into the feet of Pavel Schulz, who just keeps it alive with Souček. Schulz helps on its way to Provod down that right hand side. Kalapek gets it forward towards Soufal. Back inside the ball goes to Provod, who seems to be dropping deeper to try and get some possession here for Czechia, who have the ball deep inside their own half. Provod, one of those players from Slavia Prague, of course, who won the title in Czechia. There are 10 of them in the squad, the most from anyone. Most any one club has in a domestic team, but only 2 of them in the starting lineup tonight. As we say, Lukáš Provod being one of those, and Stepan Kalapek being the other. Half an hour gone. It's South Korea 0, Czechia 0. You're listening to World Cup Game Day Live on TalkSport, brought to you by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, they're here for it. Quarter of an hour remaining, plus of course the 3 minutes for the hydration break, which are guaranteed at the end of each half. That's a long ball forward, delivered by Kim Sung-kyu away to our left hand side, who frankly has been a bit of a bystander in this game for South Korea, the goalkeeper.
Yeah, he has. The possession has been fairly even in terms of both sides, but chances have clearly gone to South Korea, and as you said, Kim Sung-kyu has had nothing really to do at all.
No, the 35-year-old who becomes the oldest player to play for South Korea. We have Darida, who may well come on and for Czechia and become the oldest player for them to appear at a World Cup. Darida, at the age of 35 at the moment. That title belongs to Poborski, who was 34 back in 2006. All of these players in this Czechia side making that World Cup debut, as Pavel Schulz, rather deflected effort over the top of the crossbar, but it was more a hit and hope than anything. And that's been the problem really for Czechia so far, apart from set pieces. They just haven't got in and around that penalty area, man.
Yeah, I mean, it was the right idea, Pavel Schulz. I think the goalkeeper who was just mentioning, Song Yu, was challenging Patrick Schick, and as it come out, he tried the speculative effort from 30 odd yards to try and lob him, just got it all wrong, but it was a nice idea.
Ball clipped forward down that right hand side. Schulz will try and chase after it, but again comfortably gathered by Kim Sung-gyu away to our left hand side in the South Korean goal. Not seen much of Patrick Schick in the game so far, just 4 touches so far in the opening 32 minutes. Such a crucial player. 5 goals in his 8 appearances in qualifying for Czechia. As we mentioned, 22 goals for Bayer Leverkusen in the Bundesliga. One of the in-form forwards, and of course he took a share in the Golden Boot at Euro 2020. 5 goals he scored in that competition. So he usually delivers for Czechia in those major tournaments, but at the moment not really seeing much of the ball in this game at all. Possession being dominated by the Asian side.
Yes, difficult up front on your own, Patrick Schick. As you said, especially when you're not really having much of the ball in your attacking third, but you just know any opportunity falls to him, more than often than not takes it.
Here comes South Korea again, just short of halfway. Ball into the feet of Son, who spins away nicely, then gets it forward and looks to continue his run down the left hand side, and he was onside. If the ball that was poked through that time by Lee Tae-suk had got beyond the defender, Son would have been away, but Soufal did a good job and in the end won the free kick.
It was a marvellous play from Son. Lovely bit of footwork in the midfield to get away. I think it's from Tomasz Souček. Played it in to Lee Tae-suk, and he just tried to thread the ball through. I think a couple of inches, a bit further to the left. Son was in, one-on-one. It was good defending in the end.
So we get World Cup breakfast on the way from 6 o'clock this morning. Jason Cundy and Gabby Agbonmahal with you. 10 o'clock it's Hawksby and Jacobson. And of course we are live to New York City with Wright and Jordan. Very much enjoyed them alongside Brad Friedel with their opening show, which was of course on Thursday afternoon. It was Thursday morning New York time. And
some backdrop as well, wasn't it? 50th floor of the Trade Centre. Unbelievable.
It's not bad, it's a decent view. Always had a play on the far side for a throw-in. I did very much enjoy the story, and you can actually get this on the TalkSport Instagram account of Simon Jordan being kind of bullied by the Scottish supporters into joining in a sweepstake, because I can imagine it's not the kind of thing that Simon Jordan would do out of choice, really.
Funniest thing was he ended up with Scotland.
Souček tries to win that ball back for Czechia in the middle of the park. It's volleyed clear from the edge of the penalty area for South Korea and safely in the arms of Mate Kovac away to our right hand side. In terms of the live games to come, of course, Canada the second of the host nations to get themselves into action against Bosnia. That's 8 o'clock UK time, that game in the evening. And then the USA start 2 in the morning against Paraguay. So I think the next 2 live games as World Cup 2026 really kicks into action across the TalkSport network. Here they come down the left hand side here. Czechia up towards the byline. Zeleni's cross in. Headers won on the first header was won by Schick. down towards Pavel Schultz, but it was half cleared. Soufal helps it on its way, just tries to take it down 25 yards out, commits the foul, and again it will be a free kick for South Korea 5 yards outside their own penalty area.
This is my counter argument against the drinks breaks. Now look, I know it's hot, and especially during the day when it is mid 30 degrees. It's a quite mild evening at the moment, yes, but the momentum's gone out this match since that drinks break. Nothing's really happened. They're just trying to gain back control. Each side not seen much goalmouth action since that drinks break.
I think it was probably very welcome for Czechia because they were very much under pressure at the time.
Agreed.
And again, the timing of it was interesting because South Korea had a free kick in a dangerous position, but Czechia had 3 minutes to sort themselves out and get structured as to how they were going to defend it. So I'm with you. I'm not convinced. I think certain temperatures, yes, but probably this time of the evening, maybe not so. But it is very humid. So
and there's a lot of adverts to get through. I guess
there is that too, but not here on TalkSport. Forward comes Lee Jae-sung from halfway. Son, 25 yards out, fires the shot just over the top of the crossbar. Well, he hasn't scored this season so far during his league campaign with Los Angeles FC. I mean, he's got 14 assists. He's not scored, and he wasn't too far away there.
Yeah, he found himself in a good position. Just overhit the shot. See what he was trying. He was a distance out, 25 yards maybe. Tried to hit one of those strikes that dips in over the top of the goalkeeper under the crossbar. It just didn't dip enough. There we go once again. South Korea were having an opportunity.
I'm just trying to remember, was it South Africa where they all moaned about the balls and the way they moved? I think it was the South African World Cup.
Yeah, you're right.
They weren't very happy with them. That one has thrown, I guess as well, there's just a little bit of getting used to maybe. They've probably been using them in training, but in this match scenario we are of course at a little bit of altitude in Guadalajara. As I said earlier, South Korea have been here 3 weeks to give them plenty of time to acclimatise, and they've probably acclimatised the better of the two sides so far. Sees a bit of play that by Kim Min-jae to get in, and now on the charge is Son again, left side of the penalty area, just puts his shot wide of the right hand post. He's hunting for goals, he's Son Heung-min, and he wasn't too far away then.
It was almost the classic Son Heung-min, and it was a great run. I think it was Lee Jae-sung made the run across, allowed him an opportunity to cut in onto his left foot, and he's hit a curler with his left foot from about 20 yards out. Just didn't bend enough. Once again, is it the football? Is it just his technique? But it was almost a classic Son goal.
Well, he's got 3 World Cup goals to his name. He scored those in 2014 and 2018. He drew a blank in Qatar 4 years ago. There's 56 goals in total for South Korea. He's 2 behind the leading goal scorer Chae Bum-kun, who's got 58. But he'd also equal his coach's record of 4 World Cup goals if he manages to find the net in this tournament. That is held by Hong Yoon-bo, who's the man in the dugout for South Korea. And you can see he desperately wants to score. He desperately wants to lead this side to an opening day victory. 5 minutes or so remaining in this first half. It's still Korea 0, Czechia 0. You're listening to TalkSport. Every game across the World Cup live. Keep yourself across our socials and TalkSport.com as well, because alongside all the World Cup news, there's plenty going on the transfer world too. You may have heard earlier, broken exclusively on TalkSport, David Silva off to Real Madrid. Jose Mourinho already starting to work his magic, and Silva leaves Man City, of course, and Real Madrid appearing at the last moment to sign him. He's already in camp, of course, with Portugal, who will be featuring, of course, throughout this World Cup. They've got the conundrum of whether the 41-year-old Cristiano Ronaldo continues to start up front or not. There's a foul there and a free kick for Czechia. As the referee's pointed out, it's given for the first foul because there were 2 or 3 little nibbles that went on there against Alexander Soyka. The first one, I think was let go. I mean, eventually the final one from Hwang In-beom looked the obvious one, but the referee indicated it was the first one he gave him.
Yeah, it was on his play. Alexander Soikia stayed on his feet. I think he saw a pass on the left-hand side, so he's trying to get it onto his left foot to play it. Yeah, you're right, there's 2 or 3 fouls in the process. Again, an opportunity of a set play.
4 shots so far from Son in this game. Czechia so far have had half that as an entire team. Here's Soufal with a free kick, 35 yards out into the box, but it's a poor delivery, easily headed away from the edge of the penalty area by South Korea. Now a ball is played across to the far post again as they try and take the height advantage or make it count as Zeleny balls across. Now it's Soufal who'll get one across once more, trying to find that the head that time of Kalopek, but couldn't quite find it. Soufal again, right hand side, thinks about crossing, but they'll just take their time here. Czechia go back towards halfway. They have kept 5 of their bigger players up level with the edge of the penalty area. One of them is Souček. If it was to break to him, the outstretched boot of Pavel Schulz can't quite get on the ball, and now a chance maybe for a South Korean counter on this near side, but it's well read that time by Yaroslav Zeleny, who will bring it forward into the middle of the park for the Czechia side. Back to the edge of the penalty area. Kalopek is there. Infield it goes towards halfway, and they'll just keep possession. Robin Ranac will find Vladislav Krejci on this near side, the captain. Now they'll go direct to that right hand side, looking for the head that time of Lukáš Provod. Looked like he led with an arm. Referee waves it away. Thomas Souček's ball forward is cut out, and there's a foul on Son, 15 yards inside the South Korean half by Robin Ranac, and that will be a free kick for the team in red.
They needed that foul from Son. They needed that just to gain some momentum back in their favour. Since the set play, the sloppy set play, has to be said, given away in the middle of the midfield, they're very confident. You can see Czechia very confident as we're looking at our screens in front of us. Provod, did he lead with his arm? We're just going to see. No, it was just a strong challenge. It's a foul for me. They didn't give it.
I think Lee Tae-suk didn't stand a chance there. Completely clattered into by Lukáš Provod. It's a nice bit of play on this near side from Sol Young-woo, and Sol Young-woo continues his run now. What can he pick out in the middle down this right hand side? Lovely feint to deliver, then clips the ball in, looking for Son, can't find him, comes to the edge of the penalty area. Vladimir Soufal is there to get the header away. They'll have it forward again down this left hand side. Will South Korea got plenty of options, and they go forward, and nicely picked up by Paik out wide to that left hand side, where he finds Lee Tae-suk. Back again to Lee Ki-hyuk, and infield it goes. Kim Min-jae was trying to direct operations there without actively getting involved, and now Schulz will try and break down this left hand side for Czechia. Does well to keep the ball alive. It's helped on its way to Schulz again by Alexander Soike, but the misplaced pass was behind him and out for a throw to South Korea midway inside their own half.
Numerous times the Czechia players have misplaced passes, over-hit passes, played passes behind their teammate, just giving away sloppy possession. Real opportunity to get Pavel Schulz behind the back 5 of South Korea, and just passed it off the pitch.
This is the first World Cup encounter between these two sides. They last met in Prague back in 2016. It was a victory that day for South Korea. So 4th meeting in total. 3 minutes added, so just the 3 minutes for the hydration break coming at the end of this first half. South Korea have a throw down this right hand side, midway inside Czechia territory.
I'd have that about right as well, by the way. There's been no time wasting. They've got on with the game, set plays, throw-ins as quick as they can. So yeah, I'd have that about right. 3 minutes.
Just seen Gianni Infantino has made his way to this game, of course, was at the opening ceremony in the Azteca. Nipped across Mexico to Guadalajara, a little more in the mountains and the countryside. On that far side, that comes back infield. Centre circle, South Korea have it, working it to the right-hand side. Decent ball that time to Lee Kang-in. Now hopped on its way to Son. Son at the edge of the penalty area. This time he doesn't go for the shot. He gets the ball back though, and then tries to drive it goalwards from 8 yards out, but he can't get a clean contact. And it's comfortably cleared, but only cleared as far as Kim Min-jae out wide to the left-hand side. Lee Tae-suk gets the crossover to this right-hand side where Soo Young-woo is waiting for it, but it's headed away by Krejci and into touch for a throw.
Such good play once again. Similar to the early opportunity, Son, little step over, got onto his left foot. You think he's going to hit it from the same position. Fires Lee Tae-suk on the left-hand side. Perhaps he should have hit the shot, but he didn't. Cuts it back to Son, just overhits it. And the opportunity went away from him in the end.
On the attack again, though, and no surprise that Son is absolutely at the heart of most of these attacks coming from South Korea. Lovely ball down the right-hand side. Here's Paik at the byline, looks to get the crossover. Good interception on this occasion, and the block out by Zuleni on this near side. In fact, it wasn't Zuleni. I apologise. The defending that time was done by Soika, the midfielder, who tracked Paik's run all the way. Here's the shot from distance coming in from Frangenbroom, but it's well over the top of the crossbar of Mate Kovac. And we're into the last 40 seconds of added time at the end of the first half on TalkSport, and it remains 0-0.
It's a good end to the half from South Korea again, really putting the pressure on the Czechia defence. But again, no real clear-cut opportunities. Real close for Son to have a clear-cut opportunity. Just over hit the pass, Lee Tae-suk, as he came forward from defence.
That's 5 of the 8 shots or 8 efforts from Korea that have gone the way of Son Heung-min. You called it, Darren, before we started, that he may be the player have the biggest influence on this game, and that's certainly the case so far for South Korea. And that brings to an end an opening 45 minutes of stalemate in Guadalajara, and a few boos ringing around the stadium, probably I would feel from the Czechia supporters, who will be less than satisfied with the opening 45 minutes from their side. Thomas Souček with probably the best opportunity, but the only team that have worked the goalkeeper so far is the South Korean side. Lee Kang-in's long range effort was palmed away. Son's had 5 of 8 attempts at goal for South Korea, but yet to penetrate either defence. And at half time in Guadalajara, it's South Korea 0, Czechia 0. Yeah, thank you very much, Ollie. Well, Czechia have scored 8 goals in the previous encounters between these sides. They kept the only clean sheet as well in the previous friendlies, but they looked a long way off challenging the South Korea goal during the opening 45 minutes. They've only netted 4 times in the previous 3 meetings between these two teams. South Korea just having a pre-second half huddle as they prepare for this second 45 minutes, and we just sit here hoping and praying for goals, Darren.
We certainly do. My kids watching will be hoping this song continues. K-pop Demon Hunters, they absolutely love it, and the crowd once again having a party. But look, yes, we want goals. We've seen some really good play, particularly from the South Koreans, but no goal.
I was going to say, if I was in the Czechia ranks, I may be a little bit annoyed we were having some K-pop at half-time just to inspire the South Koreans on. Oh, Darren Ambrose, your music. Listen, you've just lowered yourself a couple of spots in my estimations there. I thought you'd have been more of a, I don't know, I thought you'd have been more of a classics man, but...
To be fair, I like all genre of music.
Oh, okay. I didn't have you down as I wouldn't have you down as a K-pop fan, to be fair. Right, we're off and running second half. It's South Korea kicking from right to left in this second 45 minutes. They're in the red shirts, black shorts and red socks, all white for Czechia. And I will run you through the two teams in a moment. There is no changes at half-time, though. Wonder if we might see a change from Czechia. The one change, of course, from the side that were victorious in the playoffs was the introduction of Alexander Soyka. He's done quite well, particularly defensively, so no temptation to bring on Derrida, who was the player that he replaced. Plenty of options going forward, in particular for South Korea to come as well. The Stoke forward Bae Jun-ho, we may see a little bit of him at some point. And there's a few other, interesting to see Jens Kastrup, the German-born wide player or midfielder who may come on for South Korea, who qualifies via his Korean mum. But it's Czechia who have possession just inside their own half. Ladislav Krejci into Robin Ranić. I wonder what Krejci's made of the goings on at Wolverhampton Wanderers in the last 24 hours or so. I understand there is a bit of frustration from the likes of Kieran Trippier, who still with Wolverhampton Wanderers, doesn't start till the 1st of July, and one of the reasons he signed was because of Rob Edwards, who's been sacked. So that's a story that I'm fairly sure will develop over the coming days. Czechia have it midway inside their own half, infield to Thomas Souček, who will feed the ball back towards the edge of his own penalty area. Chalupek is there, gets the ball away down this right-hand touchline, and it's a better start from Czechia in this second half, and an early touch here for Patrick Schick, who's fouled on halfway, and it will be a free kick for the European side.
Yeah, I think the message from Miroslav Kubek, the Czechia manager, was you need to do more. You're not doing enough at the moment, and we already seen a little bit more intent from the Czechia players, particularly in midfield, winning the ball back, winning second balls as well.
Souček helps it on here to Sojka down that left-hand side. Pavel Schulz tries to feed his way through and has to be blocked off on his pathway. And it was a corner that's been conceded, an opportunity here for Czechia from that far side to show their dominance from set pieces.
I think on the flip side, Hong Yungbo, the Korean manager, will be saying more of the same, but let's try and get some goal-mouth action. Let's take our chances.
Vladimir Sofal, right footed, going to swing this in from that left-hand side. It almost evades everyone. There was a little appeal for a handball against Kim Min-jae there, but waved away by the referee. Son is crowded out by 4 white shirts of Czechia, who win possession with Sofal, and Souček is there too to pick it up. Let's run you through those two teams while play just quietens down for a moment. Kim Sung-gyu is in goal for South Korea. It's Lee Ki-hook, Kim Min-jae and Lee Han-bum across the back. Let's see, they come on attacking down that right hand side, this time with Sol-Lung-yu, who's one of the wing backs, alongside Lee Tae-suk. Paik is in midfield alongside Hwang In-bum, and then it's Lee Jae-sung and Lee Kang-in supporting Son, who's up top for South Korea. Who are on the attack here, the red shirts swarming around that Czechia penalty area. Here's Hwang In-bum to the right hand side now, some room here. Hwang In-bum inside the penalty area, gets the first shot away. The follow-up comes in from Lee Kang-in, and it's blocked by the keeper with a second time. 2 excellent saves. In fact, Lee Jae-sung may have gone in for the follow-up, and it's good work again from Matej Kovač as South Korea just opened up Czechia.
Yeah, it was good play, and it was Hwang In-bum, the number 6, the midfield player for South Korea, who I've been really impressed with in the first half. He found himself some space on the edge of the box, hit a good shot, good save from Kovač, and then the follow-up, as you said, Lee Jae-sung, but he was up, he was brave, Kovač, and he had the double save. It was brilliant. Now they're coming forward.
They come Czechia again. Now they're on the attack as that ball was worked by Lukáš Provod on that left hand side. He then loses possession and has to put the ball into touch for a throw on the far side to South Korea. Plenty to like about Hwang In-bum, as you say, from Feyenoord. He missed the last 7 club games of the season through injury. His second World Cup, forced the first save, and then the follow-up from Lee Jae-sung. It was actually a pretty decent bit of defensive work by Robin Ranić then, who'd followed in on Lee Jae-sung as he tried to poke the rebound home. But really, the first sight of goal in this second half going the way of South Korea.
Yeah, you say that's almost a clear-cut opportunity.
Talking of opportunities, here comes Son driving forward through the centre circle. To the left-hand side he goes, picks out Lee Tae-suk. It's helped on its way goalwards by Lee Jae-sung, but then it's leapt upon by Matej Kovač in the Czechia goal right at the edge of his 6-yard box.
Yeah, there was no one in the box. Son Heung-min was the player that played it forward initially. Lee Jae-sung just tried a blind cross into the box, and no one was there. Comfortably defended from Czechia players.
Matej Kovač is in goal for Czechia. It's Kalapek, it's Ranac and Krejci across the back. That's our three centre halves. Sufal, Socek, Sojka and Zeleny across the middle. And it's Provod and Schultz supporting Schick up top for Czechia at the start of this second half. As I said, as you were, no changes at all. Here's Son, 35 yards out from goal, ball at feet. Son's still going. He's got support out to the left-hand side from Lee Jae-sung, but it's snuffed out at the back on this occasion by Kalapek. Forward it goes again, touched on its way towards Son, but it's held up actually really nicely in the end by Hwang In-bum. Little support from Paik, and South Korea keep the ball very nicely down this left-hand touchline. Paik tries to go through the legs that time of Kalapek, but it's out for a throw down this near touchline.
Yeah, good defending from Kalapek when Son broke through. He has opportunities. He had two opportunities in the first half, hit one with his left and then played the on-rushing wing-back Lee Tae-suk on the other, and there was an opportunity there for him to just hit it. He don't look too confident at the moment, Son, in front of goal.
Well, he had plenty of opportunities in the first half, couldn't find the target. Paik gets it back this time to Ki-hook, and there's a foul and a free kick, and just a look from Thomas Socek, I was to say me again, but it was a fairly obvious challenge that he's been penalised for. And it's a free kick for South Korea. Just a little shove that time on Lee Jae-sung.
Yeah, I don't see why he's complaining. Two hands on his back, pushes him over. It's a free kick.
Here is Lee Jae-sung again on this left-hand side. It's back towards Lee Ki-hyuk, who will clip a ball nicely to that far side. It was just forcing backwards Sol Young-woo, but he did move himself. Here is Lee Ki-hyuk again, up towards halfway down this left-hand side, in towards the feet of Son Heung-min, but he loses out, and Czechia now will try to counter, but Schick again, he's just bundled as he wins the ball. He wants the free kick. Referee and the assistant on this near side not interested, quite happy with that defending offered up by Kim Min-jae of Bayern Munich, of course. Second World Cup for him as well. He missed 2018 due to injury. Played in the 10 qualifiers, started all of them, did Kim Min-jae, 29 years of age now. Bayern under the tutelage of Vincent Kompany. Czechia just give away possession again on halfway, picked up by South Korea, who come forward, and once more it's at the feet of Hwang In-bum, who gets it to that far side, just back into the centre circle where it's picked up by Lee Kang-in, and again it will be Kim Min-jae, who rather than going back to his goalkeeper will just spin and go away from Patrick Schick, who's just really struggled to get into this game so far. Then they go a little bit more direct this time, and the control was poor from Son, not something you've said too often across his years of playing in the Premier League and beyond, but now he has possession of the ball, just gives it once more to Lee Kang-in, just at the edge of the centre circle, looking to force his way out to the right hand side. Plenty of numbers back, in fact everyone's back for Czechia behind the ball, looking to play very defensively here. You're listening to TalkSport. We are 9.5 minutes into the second half of Game 2 of the 2026 World Cup. It remains South Korea 0, Czechia 0. Forward over halfway again. Picked up inside the centre circle this time by Lee Jae-sung. Helped on its way to the right-hand side where Lee Han-bum will pick it up. Goes back again, and they're happy to just keep possession and just pull this Czechia side around. They looked tired in the first half, Czechia, and it looks like South Korea have decided to try and stretch them a little bit more in this second half.
Yeah, maybe that was the message at half-time. Keep possession, go from left to right, right to left.
Paik slips that one through. Now a chance for Son. The keeper comes out and saves. It was on his left foot, angle of the edge of the 6-yard area. Just tried to lift it over Matej Kovac, and he does an excellent job in coming out to block that. It was a lovely pass through from Lee Jae-sung. Good goalkeeping.
He can't believe it, Son. He cannot believe it. It's a lovely through ball, Lee Jae-sung, to find Son. The on-rushing Kovac comes out. He tries to chip it over him with his left foot. It's brave goalkeeping once again to keep his team level at 0-0. brilliant. That's the best opportunity of the match.
10 minutes gone in this second half. South Korea 0, Czechia 0. Corner for South Korea down this left-hand side. And Son's going to deliver this one with the right boot towards the back post, and it doesn't get there because it's flicked out at this near post by Schick, who's back defending. It'll be a throw instead this time to South Korea, about 5 yards from the corner flag. And Son Heung-min is just looking round at the bench. He's looking round at Hong Min-bo and just saying, how? Why? I've had so many chances.
Yeah, he got a lovely ripple of applause from his manager. It's a good effort, good chance, but equalled from Matej Kovač. Brilliant goalkeeping.
And it was really nice football again from South Korea. They've certainly played the better of the football on show in this game, but they have nothing to show for it as things stand. Inside the centre circle with Kim Min-jae, who comes forward to the right-hand side as South Korea attack once more. 12 minutes into the second half. Infield to Paik. Paik is just turning and stepping away. Paik on the charge. Oh, he looks just to try and slip a ball through, but it seemed to get caught under both of his feet. And Souček can give it back once more to Kovač. And his long clearance will just be chested into touch that time by Lee Jae-sung. And it's a throw on this near side. But here they come on the attack. Pavel Schulz now outside him on that right hand side. Lukasz Provod's gone forward. Schulz has kept the ball edge of the penalty area. So far will lift it towards the back post. Schick is waiting in the middle, doesn't come to him because it's going to be headed out of play on that far side by Young-woo.
There's such a neat football inside South Korea. Real technical ability, technical players. There's still dangers from Czechia. Physical, want that set play, long throws.
So then he gets it in towards Krejci, who can't quite get the flick on. So then he gets a chance to deliver, and it goes across everyone in the 6-yard area. And I think it was, well, the closest to it, I think, was Souček with a header, but then also Pavel Schulz was arriving at the back post, and it's out of play for a throw on this near side.
Yeah, good delivery. I'm wondering if Souček got a touch.
So he found with a long throw, and there's the header and in, and the long throw has worked. The set piece pays off again, and it's the captain, Ladislav Krejci, who heads home for Czechia. They've been under the pump the entire game. The best opportunities have gone the way of South Korea, but the set piece kings strike again. So far with a throw, Krejci with a header, and it's South Korea 0, Czechia 1.
Don't you just love football? It's been all South Korea since probably the opening 3 or 4 minutes of this match. It's been all South Korea this half. We spoke about set plays, long throws. We was just talking about them, and that's where the goals come from. Czechia, set piece kings. So far with a long throw, timed his run to perfection. There's going to be a check of VAR of offside. I think it's Provod, is it, standing right in front of the goalkeeper?
They're going to have it Lukasz Provod, who is, I mean, he's a few yards in front of the keeper. I think the angle at which the header comes in from Krejci, he's not blocking the pathway.
It's a goal for me, Adam. It's a goal for me. Yes, he's standing offside position. It's a lovely run from Krejci. So brilliant header. It's goal given, and rightly so. He wasn't blocking his view. He wasn't impeding him in any way. It's a wonderful header.
Well, we said they scored 7 headed goals in qualifying. They've now scored their first headed goal in the World Cup, have Czechia. And South Korea will wonder what this is all about. Well, that's what happens when you don't take your chances, for sure. Now they step things up. Here they come again down this left-hand side once more with Tae-suk and Ki-hyuk. And they have possession, probably level with the edge of the penalty area to South Korea. Trailing by a goal to 0. Forced back to Paik. Paik on this near side will just hold possession again. They see them scrambling for the bench now. Ki-hyuk down this near touchline. This is such a crucial game in this group, with you feel South Africa going to be the whipping boys for everyone, and with Mexico only beating them 2-0, there may be opportunities that potentially will open up. Here's Lee Jae-sung out wide to that right hand side, where it's picked up by Young-woo, who gets the crossover, and it does come off of Jason, but just bounces up into the arms of Matej Kovac. And I'll tell you what, if Czechia go on to win this game, they've got a lot to thank Kovac for.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been brilliant. His starting position on every attack that South Korea have had has been excellent. Come out, he's brave. Great save from Son. But this is just exactly what Czechia wanted. They've been dominated. South Korea has been the better side by a distance. We spoke about sloppy free kicks.
Well, Sofao's ball in is not a bad one. I think he just hesitated for a moment, Patrick Schick. I think he thought he may have been offside, didn't commit fully, and the ball ends up safely into the arms of Kim Soo-kyu. I mean, the interesting thing is, you look at the numbers, 12 attempts at goal for South Korea, just 3 for Czechia. Someone's not picked up Krejci, have they? It's very clear. He's made the run and someone's let him go. There'll be recriminations from that, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what the manager will be saying. That's what the staff, the set-piece coaches will be saying.
That's 3 goals in his last 5 appearances now for Krejci. A familiar face for Wolverhampton Wanderers fans and Premier League, soon to be Championship lovers, of course. Hwang Hee-chan enters the fray in place of Lee Jae-sung. So the first change of the game is that of South Korea's. Hwang has done some damage off the bench in qualifying. He scored 4 goals in his 11 appearances. And boy, could they do with a goal from him now. We know at times during the season for Wolves he was managing a hamstring injury, but he's joined that front 3. But Krejci, his Wolverhampton Wanderers teammate, in the form of his life.
Yeah, it was a brilliant run. Timed it really well. You're absolutely right, though. Someone should have picked him up.
Here come some changes for Czechia. Been a little bit disappointed by Pavel Schulz. I'd heard some tremendous things about him. Not really shown those so far this evening. He's off. Schick is off as well. We are going to see the introduction of Tomáš Hory, one of the players that's coming on, and also Lukáš Provod departing too. Just back from injury, the number 9 Adam Lošek is on, and we've also seen the introduction of Mikhail Sadilak. So now the 3 changes for Czechia with 63 minutes on the clock. I think Czechia is one of those sides where very rarely will you see the same starting 11 throughout the tournament. I think we can be fairly sure of that being the case. So we'll see how that affects the formation. I mean, it's a fairly obvious swap out for Adam Lošek going up front in place of Patrick Schick, and maybe seeing a little bit more with the ball, but as well Tomáš Hory is a forward who was having a really good season, unsurprisingly, for the team who ended up winning the title, Slavia Prague. He was the top scorer for them, but he did get 3 red cards throughout the domestic season, including on the final day when his team were about to win the title, when he flung an elbow and ended up causing a pitch invasion and a fracas. So he likes a bit of trouble, I think it's fair to say. He also got red card against Turkey in Euro 2024. Again, he started a mini fracas there too.
And they won't be needing another one of those, that's for sure.
No, big lad though, I think it's fair to say. And it looks like he's gone up top with Lošek slotting in behind in this formation as one of the 2 wider players. So we'll see how they pan out and see how they end up setting up. Sadilek as well has gone forward. So it is the front 3 who've been changed for Czechia. I wonder if how much of that is trying to just look after the 1-goal advantage, or the fact that, in all honesty, they haven't been very good, but they lead.
It's remarkable. As we said, it's been all South Korea. They've had 1 shot on target, Czechia, and it's been the goal.
Soufal is tripped there as he was chasing back on a ball that was safely running into the arms of Matej Kovac. The referee lets it go. I think there's some frustration from the Czechia bench down below, and from Miroslav Kobek, who's saying surely that was a foul. South Korea on the attack here down that right hand side, just twisting and turning. This time is Lee Kang-in trying to make something happen. He's looking for a bit of support, which eventually comes from Peik. We've reached the 65-minute mark. It's South Korea 0, Czechia 1. You're listening to World Cup Game Day Live on Talk Sport, brought to you by Burger King Burger Buddies. Iconic winners delivered in the box every time. Order now on the BK app. Wide on this left-hand side, it's Lee Ki-hyuk. Gets that infield to Hwang Hee-chan, who's on the charge here. The Wolves man just looking to lay that ball off as he does. Didn't have the most prolific season with Wolves, just 3 goals in his 31 appearances for the club as they face relegation down to the Championship. He's found Peik, who will be facing next season, who wears the blue of Birmingham City, of course, just down the road from Wolverhampton. Both be fighting away in the Championship. South Korea just keeping the ball here. There's a bit of whistling going on because they're not advancing forward, but then Czechia are very well organised. They've tucked everyone in behind the ball, and here's a chance maybe at the edge of the penalty area. Is it going to go in? Yes, it does! Hwang In-beom with the equaliser. It's an audacious finish from inside the penalty area. Pandemonium inside the Czechia penalty box. And he was the coolest head around, Hwang In-beom, who's just lifted and poked the ball goalwards, and in almost slow motion it finds its way across the line, and South Korea have got the level that they deserve. South Korea 1, Czechia 1.
What a goal this is, Adam. What a cheeky finish from probably, along with Lee Kang-in, the best player on the pitch in Hwang In-beom. What an unbelievable finish. It's a good through ball. He gets it, he cuts back onto his right foot and just chips it over. And I'm wondering, can the captain, Ladislav Krejci, can he dive? Can he try? He's on the goal line. Can he try and clear it? It's a brilliant finish. Just dinks it over the top of Kovacs. Everyone, it's gone slow motion. Everyone wondering, can it go in? What an amazing finish.
Krejci doesn't throw himself to try and clear it. The ball ends up over the line. I mean, the best part about all of that, he has sent Ranach, he's sent the goalkeeper, and he's also sent Soufal with just the deftest of turns. And then the chip goalwards. For a moment it looked like it was going to go wide in the left-hand upright, but it bounces over the line into the bottom corner. It's a 7th goal for his country for Hwang In-beom. And we mentioned he'd missed the last 7 games for his club at the end of the season. Well, his left leg is bandaged to the hilt. But what a moment. Right, changes for South Korea. I think Lee Tae-suk has departed. We're also going to see the introduction. Son Heung-min has gone as well. And the introduction of Ji-sung, who's come on to replace Son. We will check the other substitute for you in a moment or two, but with 21 minutes remaining, it is now 1 apiece. There's a foul there for South Korea, and at that point I think the referee has decided it's time for the hydration break. And well, with 21 minutes of this game to go, it's beautifully poised. South Korea 1, Czechia 1 as the hydration break happens, and a chance for both coaches to absolutely hit the reset button with these sides. But we've seen 2 goals, very different but equally good, in the header from Ladislav Krejci, and then the equaliser coming with a bit of wonderful skill from Hwang In-beom.
It's a brilliant goal. I just question, could Ladislav Krejci just dive, make an effort? It just looked like it was going in slow motion. As you said, Adam, it looked to be going wide at one stage, but he put enough spin on it as he dinked it over Kovacs to make it come in. He didn't really make any effort whatsoever, Krejci, of clearing it on the line. He's there, he knows more than us, he knows whether he could have got there or not. But it's a wonderful goal. And it was those 2 players, Lee Kang-in with a brilliant through ball to Hwang In-beom to do what he done, chopped all 3 of them and just dinked it over Kovacs. It's a brilliant goal.
It is, and it's a goal that South Korea deserved. It brings them level on the night in Guadalajara and sets up an enthralling last 20 minutes between these two sides as one looks to put themselves in pole position in Group A for qualification into the round of 32. As we say, Son's departed. It's not been his night. Plenty of opportunities, plenty of chances, but unable to convert for South Korea. But in the end, it was Hwang In-beom that managed it. His first Korean goal since January 2024. What a delightful goal it was too. It's the turn off his left foot that just sends them all, and then the way he just lifts it forward. I really feel Krejci, if he'd thrown himself at that, would have had a chance of clearing it.
He just didn't really make an effort at all. It went in slow motion. It was brilliant. It was the way he done it. Hwang In-beom chopped it back as on his left, dropped Kovac, dropped the two defenders, and a lovely dink into the far corner. You'd have to say it's been coming. Korea have been the better side today.
They had their rewards in the end. Still plenty of time though. What are we up to? 72 minutes on the clock, so plenty of time to try and find a winner in this game. Well, that there is no doubt. Reminder for you, Canada against Bosnia will be our next live game for you at 8 o'clock on TalkSport later today, and then that will be followed in the wee small hours of Saturday morning by the USA against Paraguay, and not forgetting the wee small hours of Sunday morning, Haiti against Scotland. But we've got Brazil before that, Qatar against Switzerland as well. As the games keep coming thick and fast, really picks up pace over the weekend and into the start of next week for this 2026 World Cup. And you'll hear every single game live across the TalkSport network, of course, plus all of the rest of the action on the website and on our social media channels as well. We've got the World Cup covered for you. Breakfast on the way from 6 o'clock this morning with Jason Kunde and Gabby Agbonlahor as England head towards Kansas. They're set up there on Saturday. Couple of days off for the families, of course, ahead of England's game not till next Wednesday night. And we look, and referee counting down his 5 seconds. Well, they're a very slow 5 seconds, I think it's fair to say. You do sometimes wonder with the referees, they're given these rules that FIFA insists they put out. I think the way they deliver them sometimes shows you what they feel about it.
Exactly, how you can police them. I don't know, that was the old school, one crocodile, two crocodile.
It certainly was, and in the end no one was punished. Surprise, surprise. Now look, South Korea trying to play out from the back here. They've been caught like that before, particularly this pressing side. There was a dinky little touch there from Lee Kang-in. I think he's been caught. No cards brought out in this game yet. We saw 3 reds, if you haven't heard, in the opener between Mexico and South Africa. South Africa were down to 9. Mexico finished the game with 10, and it was Ladislav Krejci, the goal scorer. I think they got the challenge in then on Lee Kang-in. Referee though keeps his cards in his pocket.
Yeah, could have potentially been a yellow card. That it was innocuous, it wasn't meant, it wasn't deliberate. But it's a lovely turn from Lee Kang-in, and he just, as he turned, he stamped on his foot. Could have easily been a yellow card or a red in the first game.
1 apiece then on TalkSport with just over 15 minutes to go. They've been unbeaten, have Czechia, since October 2025 when they lost to the Faroes. Oh, the keeper's almost got himself into trouble there as Kim Sung-gyu had to switch feet very quickly under all sorts of pressure. But Thomas Hori was the player that was pressing down on him, but he managed to just get the ball out eventually. Take in the middle of the park with Hwang In-beom just keeping the ball, the goal scorer, to enter the final 15 minutes. As we know, a minimum of 3 will be added for the hydration break. Also a lovely ball through, but it was well read and headed out that time by Yaroslav Zeleny for Czechia at the edge of his own penalty area. It was a lovely clipped ball that was just trying to set So Young-woo away down that right hand side for South Korea. There's no foul on that far side according to the referee. So Czech will pick the ball up on halfway for Czechia. out wide to the left-hand side, and Zeleny. And now it's up to the advancing Lozek towards the angle of the box where he's fouled, and it will be a free kick. The challenge coming in that time from Hayung Guo, who just pulls him down with, it may not have been him actually, I mean, being a little bit harsh. It looks like it was Lee Han-bum that put the initial challenge in. Dangerous position to give away a free kick to the set-piece specialist.
Yeah, it's exactly what they want, Czechia. Said this before, win corners, win long throws, win wide free kicks as they've done now, just at an angle, probably 25 yards out at an angle. It's a real opportunity, seeing how good they are at set plays.
It is. They'll look to cause problems here. I think there's no two ways about that. Tomáš Hori will be the target, you would have felt. Michal Sadilek is over it, and is Vladimir Zofal. It's about 5 yards off the angle of the penalty area, left-hand side here for Czechia. There's two in the South Korea wall. Zofal just feints. Sadilek will deliver it. Brilliant header and in. Tomáš Souček for Czechia. Another headed goal. Another goal from a set piece. Oh, the flag's gone up now. Now the flag has gone up. Well, it took some time. We saw the familiar helicopter celebration from Tomáš Souček. And I think the point being made by the referee, Omar Mohamed, that we'll just check it to make sure, but he is in an offside position.
He is looking down, looking across the line. The replays that we're lucky to get, he's about half a foot offside. I thought it was a bit harsh to wait for him to be celebrating right next to him and then raise the flag over his shoulder, but it's the right decision. It's offside. It's a great delivery and a brilliant header from Tomáš Souček, but the offside flag went up eventually, and it's the right decision.
Well, everyone said pre-tournament set pieces were going to play a big part. I think for Czechia, they are the only part, it would appear. It's what they've got, and it can do damage. They've already scored one. They thought they'd scored a second, but South Korea survived. 12 minutes to go. South Korea 1, Czechia 1 on TalkSport.
Probably a little bit lazy from Tomáš Souček. He didn't need to go offside. He went probably half a foot offside. He didn't need to. He would have still got there. It was a great header, good run.
Brilliant from Lee Kang-in, just weaving his magic inside the box. Gets the cross towards the back post, and Soufal with an important flick on to get it clear. It was just looking like it was going to drop very nicely for Ji-sung, who's done well to get to the byline here. Cuts it back to the back post. It's going to evade everyone. It's picked up again by the youngster Sol Young-woo, and his ball into the box is comfortably gathered by the keeper.
Yeah, it was just deflected, his cross, wasn't it? And then Kovac came just to collect. But they're really pushing now since that disallowed goal a couple of minutes ago. It's all South Korea until they go down the end and either win a throw-in, a corner, or a wide free kick, and that's when they become a threat, Czechia.
There are many ways to play football. Czechia have gone for the more direct set-piece option. I mean, we could just call them Arsenal, but that might be controversial. 11 minutes to go of normal time. That's over the top for the excellent goal scorer, and it's in! It's a brilliant finish from close range. Super strike. Hyun Goyu. It's brilliant work down that far side by Hwang In-bum. He scored the first, and this time he's delivered it into the 6-yard area. And it's expertly finished from close range. The 7th goal in South Korean colours. And it's a super finish for Hyun-gyu. And South Korea have turned this one round with 10 minutes to go. South Korea 2, Czechia 1.
What a turnaround. What a brilliant turnaround. It's Paik with a beautiful ball. First time, right foot. Finds Hwang In-bum. Probably the best player, definitely the best player in the second half. And they cannot believe it. It's a great run from Onguo. Great ball into the box, and he lets it come across him, left foot, and he hits it right at Kovac. He sticks his right hand out, couldn't get enough on it, and it nestles into the far corner. What a turnaround, South Korea.
Kovac is right side of his chest in the end, diverting the ball in. Well, how can Czechia respond? Moments earlier, they thought they'd got in front from a Thomas Souček set piece header, but in the end, South Korea have got the advantage in the final 10 minutes of this game. And it's again the quality being shown by Hwang In-beom as well. Scored a goal and now has an assist too. So foul down this right hand side, wants the foul from Paik, but he's not getting it. In fact, Paik's gone down, as if to say he needs some treatment ahead of Soufal, looking to launch his throw in. 44,000 in, so we mentioned capacity of 48, so there are a fair few empty seats around the stadium. Here's the throw, Vladimir Soufal to launch it down this right hand side. Souček's up there and it's going to break. Is it in? Oh, it's a great save on the line. The shot coming in from Adam Lošek, and what a stop that is from Kim Sung-gil. It looked like it was beyond him, but he stretched out a right hand and has made a stunning save.
What a save. What a game this is at the moment in the second half. Lošek done everything right, gets on his foot, hits it with his left foot, low, hard. And Kim Sung-gil has not really had much to do. Brilliant save, right on the line.
Sadilek left-footed corners in, and I think the referee's going to let that be taken again because he's not happy. No, he's given the free kick for pulling inside the box, and he's penalised Ladislav Krejci. The best bit about that save is it actually went through the legs of, I think it may have gone through the legs of Sol Young-woo, and again the keeper may have struggled to see it. It really is an excellent stop.
It's brilliant, it's brilliant. I think as it went through the legs of Song Young-woo, it just deflected, might have slowed it down a tiny bit, but as you said, he see it so late and got a strong hand to it to put it out for a corner, kept his team in the lead.
Well, what a finale we've got here. Hongyu with the goal that separates these two sides, and another change coming. In fact, there's a couple of changes coming here for South Korea, and the one who's going off to an ovation, I would hope, is Hwang In-beom, who's departed from the far side, because boy does he deserve it. Kim Jin-gai coming on to replace him, and we're also seeing Paik depart, and the introduction of Park Jin-seo. So now the changes for South Korea, who are looking to try and defend the lead they have here by 2-1. Well, we mentioned that 12 of their last 13 prior to today have been scored in the second half. You can now make that 14 of their last 15 that have been scored in the second half in World Cup games. It's the 14th time they've scored 2 goals. Never gone beyond 2 in a World Cup game. Maybe that's going to be today. There's a change as well for Czechia. Moimir Hichil has come on. So changes across the board as now Czechia desperately try and get their way back into this game. Maybe a little bit of reshuffling in terms of shape potentially for South Korea, just in terms of who is sitting where. Just over 5 minutes to go. South Korea 2, Czechia 1. You are listening to World Cup Game Day Live on TalkSport, brought to you by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Here for it. Book now at enterprise.co.uk. This is a game that sprung into life in this second half. South Korea 2, Czechia 1. That's going to bounce down inside the South Korea box, but it's going to be dealt with down this left-hand side and cleared away well that time by Lee Ki-hyuk. Lifted forward and back into the danger zone by Kalapet. Here's Soufal on this right-hand side for Czechia, midway inside the South Korean half. Now deep inside their own territory, Czechia will try to come again. Forward they go down that left-hand touchline, but Once more, unable to break through this stubborn South Korean defence as things stand. Here's Wang on the charge and the turn. He's got support outside of him on this left-hand side, which is being offered up by Ji-sung on this near touchline. What can Ji-sung do? Maybe try and win the corner, but in fact it's just going to be a goal kick away to our left-hand side. And we're into the final 4 minutes.
Yeah, they'll just be looking to see this out now, South Korea. They had an opportunity there just to run that into the corner, but they didn't. They tried to get something from it. Maybe this is what we're going to be seeing from teams like South Korea.
Well, just 2 minutes and 34 seconds between Thomas Soucek's offside goal to South Korea going 2-1 up. The kind of margins that you have to play with in World Cups. That's a poor attempted clearance, or even a pass from the edge of the penalty area that time for South Korea. Hwang though has picked up the loose ball on half-right. Out to this left-hand side, Lee Ki-hyuk's got it. And all the way back to Kim Min-jae, who looked a little tired as he played the ball back to Kim Song-gyu. That stop to deny the effort from Adam Loshek may well prove crucial in this game. Edge of the penalty area, right-footed ball played forward, or headed back into the danger zone towards the goal, in fact, in the end from Sadilek, but it's safely gathered up by Kim Sung-gyu in the South Korean goal away to our right-hand side. All in yellow is the South Korean keeper, 35 years of age, launching that one forward. This one all the way to the edge of the penalty area where Krejci, the Czechia captain, will win it. Here they come again down that right-hand side. I'm not sure that Lee Kang-in has stopped running in this game, and he's got the ball at his feet on that right-hand side for South Korea. Back towards the edge of the penalty area again. Has it back once more. Lee Kang-in. He's got support from Sol Young-woo. And now it's with Kim Min-jae, edge of the centre circle. Helped on its way, but possession given away. And now here come Czechia. Ball forward was really poor in the end from Kalapek, and now a chance to run and charge. And here's Hwang down the left-hand side, edge of the penalty area. Will look to cut on his right. No, goes alone on his left. Now on his right, tries to fire the shot. He's still got the ball at his feet before anyone tackles him. And in the end, the challenge does come in from Kalapek. And away come Czechia.
Just two or three too many chops from Hwang Hee-chan. Tried to look to get it onto his foot and hit the shot. Chopped in on his right, chopped on his left, chopped in on his right. Made it easy to defend against in the end, instead of just putting his foot through it.
Inside the centre circle, Czechia come again, heading towards the final minute. You're listening to Talk Sport. A reminder, we have World Cup early breakfast on the way from 5. Then from 6 o'clock, Jason Cundy and Gabby Agbon-Lahore will be with you for World Cup breakfast. H&J, of course, from 10 o'clock, and then White and Jordan live from New York from 1 o'clock. As we build up to another busy day of World Cup action. Czechia on halfway. Desperate times for them now. Final minute, they trail 2-1.
All South Korean eyes will be on the fourth official board. There's at least going to be 3. There's going to be a few more because there's been a lot of substitutions this half. We'll wait to see.
They've won their last 2 games against European opposition in the World Cup of South Korea. Remember, they beat Germany in 2018, they beat Portugal in 2022. They could well be starting here with a victory against Czechia in 2026. Here's the board, 6 added minutes at the end of this game. 6 more minutes for Czechia to try and find an equaliser in this game. They led in this second half courtesy of Radoslav Krejci, but a terrific turnaround from South Korea, a deserved turnaround as well, putting them in front. We're into the first of the 6 added minutes, and it's South Korea who have the possession.
Yeah, disappointed look on the face of Miroslav Kubek, Czechia manager on the sideline. knows his team had an opportunity. Czech with that header that was disallowed, and then the turnaround from South Korea. But you'd have to say, if it stays like this, there's still 5 minutes to go. If it stays like this, South Korea deserve the win.
Well, I think the referee's done a good job. He's getting in the neck here from Robin Ranach, saying that he was elbowed by one of the South Korean players. Referee not having a bar of it. It's been one of those performances from a referee. We've hardly noticed him. He's been excellent.
Yeah, I thought he's been very, very good performance from the referee. He's let things go. Had no cards as well. Nothing.
He's a lawyer, so I think, you know, he's pretty good at keeping two sides calm in a situation. Into the second minute of 6 added. You're listening to Talk Sport. South Korea 2, Czechia 1 in the humidity of Guadalajara. Rainy season starts around now in Mexico, but thankfully today has been a day here in particular of blue skies. Lovely sunsets around the stadium around kickoff, and a perfect setting. As we mentioned before, a chance for South Korea to win a opening match at a World Cup for the first time since 2010, when they managed to beat Greece. They've got another 4 minutes to see out here. They lead 2-1. Long ball forward for South Korea, who win the header down this left-hand side. It was Ji-sung that got up, but just puts it out of play. Song Heung-min looking on from the technical area with a towel round his shoulders. And plenty of opportunities to open the scoring tonight for South Korea, but it was left to Hwang In-beom to net a 7th goal of his international career. It's not over yet for Czechia here. The shot's in, oh, good save! It was a shot coming from the edge of the penalty area by Mikhail Sadilek. And just for a moment I thought he got enough on it. It took a slight deflection to take it away from Kim Sung-gyu, but he got his fingertips to it and then gathered the ball. And it just shows there's still 3 minutes to play. This is not a done deal for South Korea.
You'd have to say the goalkeeper Kim Sung-gyu has not only kept his team from winning, kept his team from losing, with 2 fantastic saves from Czech and Sadilek.
Here they come now, South Korea on the charge. Hwang's in the middle. They can find Hwang. Now he tries to go alone with the shot himself that time. Did Kim Jung-gyu.
They're just not trying to see this game out, are they?
They're not, because there's a counter on now down this right-hand side. And on the attack coming forward is Momir Hitil. Got the ball at his feet. Oh, it's a lovely ball that's slipped into Sadilek. Sadilek gets the cross away towards the back post, and coming up to try and win the header that time was Czech. He did win the header, and then it's excellently cleared. Clever stuff from Lee Han-bom, because he's just played that ball right off of Zeleny and out of play for a goal kick. 2 minutes of added time to play.
Brilliant defending. Lee Han-bom, as you said, could have quite easily just put that out for a corner, as we're lucky to have replays in front of us. It's a brilliant save from Kim Sung-gyu from Sadilek. Chance, maybe he could have put that more into the corner and it would have definitely gone in. But it's a good save in the end.
South Korea look out on their feet at this moment in time. 90 seconds of added time still to play. Czechia pushing, pressing, and they've won a free kick. Have South Korea 7 or 8 yards outside their own penalty area, and it was given away by Tomasz Horny. Physical presence of his, just knocking down one of the South Korean midfielders. And with just a minute to go, the day that Miroslav Kovac becomes the oldest coach at a World Cup at the age of 74. Looks like he's about to suffer his first defeat since his return. First defeat since October, since they lost to the Faroe Islands. Looks like it's coming the way of Czechia here, as we're into the final minute of the 6 added on at the end of this game.
They need to hurry up. They've got to throw him deep in their own half, Czechia. As you said, just over 30 seconds now. They need to get it forward, otherwise there's time running out. Cleared
away by Yaroslav Zeleny up towards halfway. knocked down by Tomáš Hory, and they've got a free kick just inside the South Korean half, and there's the first yellow card of the game coming in stoppage time and shown to Lee Ki-hyuk.
And this will be the last chance.
It will. The 6 minutes are almost up. It was the challenge on Ladislav Krejci that's been penalised by the referee. Absolute last chance saloon here for Czechia. The 6 added minutes are through. Here comes the free kick. It's on the halfway. What can they do? They are the set-piece masters. Sanlec's ball forward, headed away towards the edge of the penalty area. Czechia will get it again. They'll try and drive forward. Sanlec with one more chance to deliver the ball into the box here. Out wide on the left-hand side. Gives it short. Chance may be for Losek. Tries to get the first shot away. Just pokes the ball across the penalty area. Now a chance to clear it for South Korea, which they do! And it goes into touch, and the referee says enough is enough. And for the first time since 2010, South Korea have won their opening game at a World Cup. And deservedly so. 2 excellent goals to cancel out the header from Ladislav Krejci. They were on top, but they fell behind early in the second half until a wonderful piece of quality from Hwang In-woo. And then he was involved as well with a winning goal that they thoroughly deserved. And it's a rare occasion. They're higher in the rankings than the team they've played in the World Cup, and they've secured a victory. And it could be a crucial victory. With South Africa's defeat earlier on against Mexico, this was going to be a crucial game between these two sides to see who could take control of Group A in this World Cup. And it's gone the way of South Korea. They're at their 11th successive World Cup. They progressed from the group stage on just 3 occasions, but this win in this expanded tournament surely is likely to make that 4. It's a terrific victory. They came to play football. They came up against the set-piece masters, but it's the agility and the skill of South Korea that's played out in the end. They've won this World Cup opener in Guadalajara. It's finished South Korea 2, Czechia 1.